Okay. I should have finished this a long time ago. So anyway, come on, let's carry on. Do you remember when we did this? We put a board up against here and we put the mix in, and whilst we were there we stuffed a just a piece of metal and made a T. We made a funny shape out of it, didn't we? We let some stick up welded to it and came out of it. So we're going to use that to level up. So we'll put a board here, put a hole in there. We'll make this level. So we begin in the beginning and make this level. So let's do that now then. Let's choose, see this wood? It's not very nice looking for a shelf, is it? Okay, you could turn the shelf to the back. It's got a bit of roughness there. But the face seems all right. This side seems all right. And they all seem pretty good, Nick. So because this is the roughest, we'll turn this one into an upright, I think we'll. And we'll hide that behind. That'll disappear. We'll use that as our first upright. So we've laid down our baseboard. We know where the front of the shelf is going to be. We're going to fill that with concrete in the end and the bottom of it, because we can't go up against the wall because of this edge, haven't we? So we've put this here to give us enough space to play with, and these shelves will then go in. So let's mark and drill that hole next. So simple enough job to do. Set it where you want it to be, tap the end of it with an hammer. That'll put a mark. Great, now drill a hole in it. Nice clear mark there for us to put it in. We're going to move and maybe bend that just slightly, so it don't really matter, and we want to make a bigger hole really, so we've got room, leeway, you know. So I'm only looking for the nuts, but we look across there, meant to be in A2. Uh-oh, they're not in A2. Right, so where else are they? They are over here. This one's in C2, so this is C, C1, C2. Here they are. So we're only using the nuts, but it's sometimes handy to keep the nuts and the bolts together. Yeah, so this'll do. So we want to square this up, don't we? Put that on the end of the nut, on the inside there. Remember, we got to pour a washer on it, so that's level. Thickness of a washer, we can pull that out slightly, because we're gonna expanding foam the back of that anyway. So yeah, that'll do. So we're gonna put a bit of weight on it for now. So we'll use one of these square washer things. Yeah, we'll put that in now. That's gonna be okay now, you know. Yeah, it needs a bit of twisting around a bit. Fine, we'll do that when we do the bottom bit, and it's not quite touching the bottom, so we need to smack that down with a hammer. Give it a smack down. Yeah, for now that's going to be just fine. It's pretty level that way. Change hands, hold on. What did we say? Pretty level that way. Watch for that rough bit of wood. Pretty level that way. We can begin now, can't we? Let's fix that bottom first. So these don't need any introduction. These are my all-time favourite fixings. And we can put a long one in there, because we can go through the board, but we don't really want to go through the back of this one to lift it up that little bit. So this one's going to go there. It's just going to control that. That's all that's got to do. Let's put another one here. These are my... Come on. Hold on a minute. These need no introduction. These are my all-time favourite fixings. Tech screws. Wow, the ones are going to wood and the ones are going to steel, but that'll control the bottom now. Easy peasy. So yeah, we were out, but it's nothing we can't fix. Bit of expanding foam will go in there, lovely. Or if you wanted to, you could get when you got some sand and cement, you could shove some sand and cement in there, which I might do and finish that face off, all depending. You wouldn't do it in one big lift, I don't think, but you could do half of it, couldn't you? And then do the next half, and the next half, just seal that all up then. Or you could just put a board of wood across here and just seal the corner off if you wanted to. So it's no big deal because it wasn't straight. You do it, it's crooked, fine, so now you fix it and then you move on, don't you? So we're going to run an extension and we need two, but never, it looks like it's going to spit with rain. Just to keep the water apart, turn your thing upside down, put a bucket on top of it. If you think it's going to flow underneath, put maybe a brick or a block of wood under there, keep it off the surface. And just perfectly, hold on, let me get a brick. Thought that this needs raising up just slightly. Just get a brick, any sort of brick, stick it up there so that electric's not going to be in any flowing water underneath. Stick a bucket over the top. That's as waterproof as ever it's going to be. So run an extension in poor weather, no problem. Stick it under a bucket, keeps it dry, keep it off the ground. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to do something I haven't done before. Usually I cut them, measure them, cut them, measure them, cut them, measure them, cut them. So I know I'm going to go at least 4 high, aren't I? I've got 2 boards. So what I'm going to do today for a change, and I know they're cut exactly. So what I'm going to do is cut them both in half together. So I'm going to make 4 shelves before I even get there. But the 4 shelves should be, in Reggie's sort of measuring, exact. So we shouldn't have a problem with them. So that's what we're going to do now, is just cut these 2 boards into 4 shelves. So we've discovered the middle of the board. We're going to use the top of the saw as a square. We're going to bring it up to here, bring it up to the line. Then we're going to mark it, and we know where halfway is on this one is. That was a nice line to follow. Yeah, do you remember we bought this for Stephen, didn't we? And we ended up hanging on to it. We got this for Steve. I'm sure it was Stephen in mind. And when it arrived, I liked it that much. I asked Stephen, will you find another one? I'm going to keep this one. Let's see if it cuts any wood. A bit more colour on the duck. Can't you do any better job?
It's, to be honest with you, the metal's bad.
What do you mean bad?
It's bad, the metal. That won't last very long.
Oh, do you not think so?
No.
Why is it bad? Why do you say bad metal is bad? Paint will protect it.
No, it's Hammerite I put on it.
And then use varnish it.
No, it's Hammerite.
Seal it up.
Or need to.
Okay. Measure twice, cut once. Well, this is measure once. No, what do you... Mark twice? No. Measure twice, cut once. Now this is mark the wood twice, cut the wood twice. But at least now we know where we're going to go to. Obviously you can't stretch that, but you can always shrink this. So let's unfortunately this is the new halfway. If you want to know how to make your shelves exactly the same, all you have to do is put a bit of a tilt on it. Yeah, put a bit of a tilt on the wood, and then all of a sudden miraculously the two, so now we've got 2 pieces of wood that exactly match each other, providing you don't hold them straight up. Well, we can't mess this measurement up, surely. No, that's got to be where the cut's got to be. So we can't mess this, and if anything, keep high on this one, if anything. Try and cut the line out. But if that doesn't fail, stay north of it. So we've lost a little bit of shelving space, but shh. If you don't say nothing, I won't say nothing. You'll never know that ever happened, will you? We've got 4 shelves at the same size. With a bit of tolerance on movement. Yeah. So if you don't tell, I won't tell. Come on, let's get on with it. So if there's one thing you can rely on, is the planks, because there's a machine cut these, so these will be the same size, won't they? So what we're going to do, we're going to put that there. We're going to run them to the back, I think. Yeah. So what we have to do now is mark up here where the front's going to be. Cut it on the rough edge. There's the edge of the cut. Yeah, so we'll put that there. We'll mark this here. We'll do the same with that one, so we know we're coming up at the same height. And we'll cut a hole in here, because we're going to bypass this, aren't we? And we might even cut a little, no, that's it on there. So let's cut a hole in here, bypass that bolt, and then mark the surface. And do the same over here, wherever this is going to end up. And we'll do the same here, cut that enough to go in there. And then, hold on, we've got the makings of the first shelf. Hold on. So we've got the makings of the first shelf, haven't we? Yeah. Because obviously we're going to put another up right here, and we decided we're going to use those 2 cupboards next door here and come across that way. Yeah. So let's do that first then. Let's start this off. Let's come up from the bottom. Are we level? Are we level? Good question. Well, yeah, level. That's pretty level. So come up the same. And if they're out of size a bit, we've got leeway here. We've got leeway there to move, haven't we? So yeah, I'm pretty happy on that. Let's bang that in there, and let's start coming upwards. So we've marked the face, so we're going to cut that there, so that will sit there. That'll sit there, won't it? Can you see? Yeah, we've marked that, so that will sit there nicely. And then we need a hole around about there to bypass that. Yeah, easy peasy. We've cut it to length, took all the hard work of and we've drilled a few holes where we marked roughly. So what we've got to do now is join these holes together like this and cut a hole in there. So were we close to where we wanted to be? Yeah, pretty damn close. Pretty damn close, if anything. Wants to go. Let's mark that bottom step out. Yeah, let's mark the bottom out. I'm going to cut a little slot along here. I'm going to cut that bit out, put that up there. It won't matter because we're going to bolt it across, so it's going to have strength. The strength isn't running through to the bottom in that place, so let's cut that out. Make that look like I know what I'm doing. So I've drilled a hole here, Let's just put a saw along there, cut that bit out. You could do it with chisels and whatever the hell you wanted to do it with, but you might cut too much of a chunk out, mightn't you? So I'm going to saw there, come down here, come out of here. We've got an escape, haven't we? Because that's the saw we're using today. We've expanded the hole slightly. Missed the nut, that'll fit in there nicely. This is still touching the edge, so we've got strength there. This is going to be bolted in anyway. We're going to put a nut and a bolt in there. Same the other side. Really good beginning. Well, when you are Mr. Nuts and Bolts, I was going to use that, but it was a bit long, sort of almost a waste, wasn't it? Then I went to fetch this one, which is the right length, but a bit too thick. Then I saw this one. That'll work on the plate just the same. This is one of them fence things. So we've got the length. It's a bit thinner, it doesn't matter in this case. So we can bang those in. So it's nice to just have a choice of anything and pick. Being Mr. Nuts and Bolts, you can pick the exact one that you want. Preferably a bit thicker. Let's just go and check out, see if we've got something a bit thicker. So we've got something a bit thicker. Ooh, just makes it hardly room for a washer. Not that it matters, it's just holding that together that little bit, isn't it? What shall we do? Let's go see if we can find something a little bit more perfect. Having this on here, you're not having to guess. We started with that too long. We've got the right thickness. We've got something to compare with, haven't we? We want that, but a bit, not as long as that, same as that, a little bit longer, just a little bit long. Ooh. That looks like the kiddie we want. A4. A4, so shelves A, B and C, shelf A, shelf A4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it should be, let's squeeze past the bike, A4 should be in here. Did that say A4? No it didn't. Yeah it did, A4. Come on A4, where are you? Are you in there? You're not even over there, are you? Where have you gone, A4? Oh, I've used it. So that's somewhere and haven't put it back. Oh, Reggie, naughty boy. Let's just double check. Did we say? Let's have a look. We said that one. Definitely A and 4. But it looks very similar. We've been doing these jobs, so we may have used that jar and not cut that one off. That's going to drive me crazy now. We need to find them. Hold on a minute, I'll look for them. Well, I'm baffled by them. Anyway, we're going to use these. The same thickness, we're all right for thickness now. And slightly longer. Slightly longer. Not as long as those. So we're saving distance. A bit longer than this one. So these are the ones, these coach bolts here. Oh, we had a bit of interference here. I couldn't really figure it out what it was. It was the head of these two. So we've just got to mark where those two are and then drill a half a hole and sit them in there. That'll make that sit nice and flush and tight, and it won't risk cracking the wood or breaking the wood as we bolt them together. So we've dealt with a little bit of interference we were getting from there. Just drilled beginning of a hole here. That'll fit in there nicely, and now that'll pull together without any risk of splitting the wood. So when I bolt them together, I don't like to go next door to each other unless I have to, because it could split the wood. So I'm going to go down here, but I'm going to struggle to get a bolt behind there, so I'm going to use this bad boy. I'm going to rhino screw the damn thing in. Yeah, let's do that. So we're nearly there. I'm going to get two of them. I might even take them off there for now, because that'll still give me a surface to put them on, won't it? So imagine those two cupboards upright here in the corner. I've pretty much needs fixing as we go along and trimming, make a bit better. Maybe get a piece and hide the front like we did there, and made it look nice. We put a trim piece here, didn't we? And we made that look nice. Yeah, so we're pretty much there. Now we decided to do, we've put bigger gaps in these because that's the wood we had. This is going to be the final surface. So the way we're going to deal with this at the end here is, what we're going to do is we're using this as a backboard to hold back the cement and the concrete there. We'll probably put a board underneath here, the bottom, a sacrificial board under there, clear this away, and then we'll make a mix of cement, sand and cement, concrete. So we'll put a new concrete, bring this up here and level. So this will be, our new level will be here. Yeah. So get the mixer out, put a load of concrete in there, get this done. So we're pretty much done. So I told you we were going to remove this from that height, weren't we? So this is the new level. So we're going to fill that gap. You could use expanding foam, you could use anything in there really. What I'm just going to do is, I might even get a whole board underneath the bottom and just put the bottom there. As long as the stuff don't escape, then we'll put a mix of concrete in here and level it off, and that'll be just fine. That'll be just fine. And we've got our backboard here ready to hold it all back. Yeah, you want to see that under there, wasn't it? How we're going to reach that? Hold on a minute. See how we were never going to use that shelf as a guide. That back bit, it's uneven as well, isn't it? So we could have reduced this slightly, but we want to put jars in there, don't we? We've decided we're going to have 4 big ones up here, and we'll bring that up to here. We might do it in one mix, we might do it in 2 mixes, because it'd be a lot of weight, won't it? It's going down, you might be pushing the shelf out a bit. So we might do halfway, and then we might do another halfway, depending on how we get on, and depending on how much stuff we've got. So yeah, that'll be just fine. And then we'll run it round into there. We might even run it round into here. We might even make that a little hidey hole, or we might just square the whole thing off and make it disappear at that level. Let's see how much concrete if we've got spare, we can put it in there, can't we? Yeah. So, pretty much done. A bit of trimming, again bolting and fixing, simple enough, and then get a pair of those sort of cupboards and put them up right here, and we're pretty much done. Yeah, wow. So then the next step will be, once we've got this nice and level, if we choose, we can then go up again, can't we? We can make another shelf going up, which is up against, so we'll have here and we'll reach back, which is the same as what we've done here. Look, we've got here and we've done the shelves in the back up along the wall, and we did the same here. Look, we put the shelves in and the shelves in the back. So I'm quite pleased, and of course, you know, the concrete's going to come up level again, create another shelf there. So all in all, I think we're doing okay.